Effective talking. We're going to have a talk.
About talking.
Right. About talking.
So first, make the issue the topic of the sentence. What I mean by that is you are a team trying to solve a problem. The problem is not your partner. So even if you think the problem is your partner,
Or even if the problem is your partner.
put the problem here and visualize that you are a team
to try to
to
solve,
solve
it
the
together.
problem. For instance, let's say the problem is the toilet seat is always left up in the middle of the night when the female gets out of bed and goes to the bathroom and wants the toilet seat down, and she sits on the toilet seat because she's half asleep and she ends up in the water. Not fun if any of you have ever done that.
Actually, she sits on the toilet with the toilet seat knocked down and falls in the water.
What did I say?
You said she sits on the toilet seat and
I
falls in
did?
the water.
Okay.
So bottom line is avoid blaming on this subject versus working out a solution.
So what I would want to do in that example would be to say, listen, having the toilet seat up in the middle of the night is really difficult to me because I'm half asleep when I go to the bathroom. I'm not really paying attention like I should and look at the toilet seat before I sit on it. All these things you can give as, your issue with the issue. Instead of saying, you left the toilet seat open again. How dare you? That's horrible. That's so impolite. That's disrespectful of me. And you're a bad person.
Right.
That's not going to get it.
Avoid the blaming, avoid the attacking, avoid belittling. Come together as a team to solve a situation. That one's surely solvable, and maybe there's a compromise between the two. Maybe it can be left up during the day, but come 11 o'clock at night, it needs to be down.
Whatever works for you.
Whatever works for you. I'm not suggesting you. I'm not going to tell you how to do your toilets. Control tone of voice. Not too loud.
Not too soft.
Definitely not mocking or exasperation or sarcastic.
That's not going to help you solve the problem. And one of my issues that David has with me talking is sometimes I get to talking really soft and I'm trying to explain something and I'm just getting talking and I'm kind of not enunciating. He can't hear me. What good is that if I don't talk in a nice, steady tone so that he can understand? You want them to understand what you're saying, so control your tone.
On the other extreme, obviously screaming at somebody is going to turn their listening off. Even though they hear you, they're not listening. So next item, pay attention to feedback.
And what we mean by feedback would be body language, facial expression, and it can be positive or negative. See, that's probably a negative feedback. But what if he's explaining something that I wasn't getting and I'm just sitting here looking angry and then all of a sudden, my eyes might brighten up. He could see that and see that I'm understanding, and then he could go where he was going and keep explaining in that vein because he knows now I'm understanding.
And look for look for both, right?
The next point under pay attention to feedback is something important to me. Understand that silence does not equal no desire to respond. Sometimes it takes me a while to think about how I'm going to respond, to form the words of what I'm going to say. And David gets very impatient with that. And he will sometimes say, well, do you want to answer or not? And yeah, of course I want to answer. I want to give you a good answer. That's why I'm taking my time to think about it. So sometimes it's hard for somebody to be patient and just wait on your answer. But please be patient.
So the next piece, kind of down the pike for us, but one thing that both of us do sometimes is we ramble. Don't continue on and on. Don't drone on.
Yeah, if you just drone on and on about a topic, your partner's gonna lose attention. He's gonna get drowsy. He's gonna stop listening, and he's just gonna tune out.
So definitely not suggesting this, but if push comes to shove, most of you have a sand timer or a little electronic timer that if it is getting out of control and you can't control each other or yourself, that matter, get a sand timer, flip it over, and okay, you got a couple minutes to talk, or you got 3 minutes, depending on the sand or the electronic timer, and they're on your cell phones now too. So that might work.
Another thing that's helpful for me is to gather my thoughts before you come together and make some notes.
Right.
That I can share with David,
notes.
so then I can remember that I wanted to share this and this and this, and this is the point that's important to me. And so just write yourself some notes.
Especially in a serious conversation, you get all into it and you forget why you even came to talk about something. And if you get to the point that it's just not going anywhere, she's getting mad, I'm getting mad, we're not listening anymore, just decide to table it. We'll do it Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. We'll talk again next Saturday morning. Pick a time and set a time and a date to follow up.
Yeah, don't just get exasperated and say, well, I don't want to talk about this. That's also not productive.
Right.
Give your partner a reasonable idea that you will sit down at another time, schedule a time, or say, listen, I don't know how long I need to think about this, but I will ask you to talk about it again.
So, it's important to her. She wouldn't have brought it up. It's important to me, or I would have not have brought it up. All right, goodbye. See you next week. We screwed up.
Hi. We are rolling. Rolling.
Keep them doggies rolling.
Ride.
Oh, wait. Episode 4, Scene 1, Take 4. Yes, that is an even number. Hey, if you liked our show, down below is the thumbs up. If you want to get reminded, there's the bell. And over here is if you want to see the next episode of our series. Have a good one.
That looks yummy.
Onions.